On Christmas Day, my oven always gets overloaded. I'm juggling turkey, roast potatoes, cauliflower cheese, stuffing, the list goes on. That's why I always make this braised cabbage recipe. It gets made completely on the stovetop and it only uses one saucepan. Also, I'll show you an easy trick I use to help keep its deep, beautiful colour. So, let's get into it. The first step doesn't actually start with a cabbage. I'm going to start with an apple instead. Apple and cabbage are a great combination. The flavours complement each other really well. I'm just running it over a regular cheese grater, skin and all. Once I get to the core, I just spin it 90 degrees and carry on. This is a pink lady apple, but most varieties will work well. I like keeping the apple whole like this because it gives me something to grip onto when I get to the end. Less chance of grating my fingertips, which I like. Next, that's all going into a large saucepan with 125 ml of apple cider vinegar, 60 grams of brown sugar, a small cinnamon stick, and a little pinch of salt. Then that's going over to my stovetop, onto a medium heat, and I'm just stirring in the sugar so it dissolves into the vinegar a little. I'm achieving 3 different things at once with this mixture in the pan. Firstly, the acidity of the vinegar is the key to keep my cabbage that deep purple colour. Second, vinegar is amazing at extracting flavours, so the cinnamon and grated apple are going to infuse their flavours into the vinegar with a little help from the heat under the pan. And third, I'm balancing the acidity of the vinegar with the sugar. So there's a lot going on here in this first cooking step. I like to just place a lid on, and once I see some steam coming off the pan, turn down the heat as low as possible. Then I just leave it to cook out for 10 minutes whilst I prep the cabbage. It's really simple. Now, if you've got a light coloured chopping board like me that you don't want to stain, I definitely recommend using something you're not as attached to, because the red cabbage colour can be a bit hard to get rid of sometimes. So there's loads of ways to prep cabbages. I'll show you how I like to do it using a knife, and it only takes a couple of minutes with the right steps. First, I remove the outer 2 layers. These are always a bit beaten up and who knows what they've touched. Then I just rock it around until I get it sitting on its most stable side. With a long chef's knife, I cut through the centre. Give the knife a little jiggle if it gets caught, and it will work its way through. I cut from north to south rather than east to west, so the root of the cabbage gets cut in half like this. Then I just remove the root from each half and cut those halves in half again, so I've got quarters to work with. Then I think the most important thing when cutting the cabbage for this dish is the consistency of size, so it all cooks evenly. This is where mandolins come into their own, but this is perfectly possible just using a knife. So I just start with my knife at either the top end or the root end, and I gradually make some slices working across the cabbage, taking my time to make sure my slices are as even as possible. When I get to this section, it gets a bit unstable, so I just flip it onto the new flat surface that's been created and continue chopping until I've got nothing left. The last few cuts are always a bit fiddly. If you want to learn how to use a knife, how I got taught to use one in professional kitchens, then I've created an online course that breaks the process down into 4 simple steps. Within 1 hour, I guarantee you'll be more confident using a knife in the kitchen. I've had nothing but great feedback from my customers so far, so if you're interested, there's a link in the description below. Okay, by the end you'll have a big pile of chopped cabbage. And if you're stubborn like me, then you'll fully commit to getting every last little bit into the small bowl that you chose. It amazes me, after cooking for 20 years and chopping well over my body weight of cabbage, I still can't choose a big enough container. Anyway, I'm heading carefully over to the stovetop with that. The saucepan has been gently simmering for 10 minutes or so. The sugar has fully dissolved and I can really smell that cinnamon and apple. This looks good to me. So in with the sliced cabbage, 100 milliliters of water, and another pinch of salt. Lid on and heat onto a medium high. This is going to produce some steam in the pan, which is going to help to wilt the cabbage, and that will make it a lot easier to stir everything together. After 5 minutes on medium-high, the cabbage has visibly wilted and it looks a lot softer. Now I'm giving everything a stir to get the flavours incorporated. Lid back on, heat down to low, and just leave that to simmer and tick over until it's ready. I come back every 10 minutes or so just to give everything a stir and check there's still some liquid in the bottom. 9 times out of 10 there is, but if yours dries out and you can't see any liquid on the base of the pan, then just add a touch more water. This can happen if your pan's lid doesn't fit very well or if you left it on a high heat for too long. Either way, the water is just there to create some steam and to help stop any catching happening on the base of the pan. So just add more as needed. After 25 minutes of cooking, my braised red cabbage is ready. I like it still with a little bite. If you like yours softer, then another 15 minutes on the hob should get you there. I've got a great deep purple colour. The cabbage is glazed all over with the apple and cinnamon syrup. This recipe ticks all the boxes for your Christmas dinner. It's simple, tasty, quick, and it suits most diets. Check out this video next for another way to improve your Christmas cooking.